Hello, everyone. I am Lord of Nothing, and welcome to the Jester's Court podcast. I am without my other two compatriots because we haven't uploaded in weeks and months and days, so I've decided to pull someone out of the ether. That's your cue.
Go fudge yourself.
Well, that was lovely. So, who are you, and what do you do, and why do we care?
Everybody calls me Grandpa Punknaught because I'm an old man online now.
Apparently, even though you're like, what, 5 years older than me? 6 years older than me?
You're not in your 30s yet.
Not yet.
Yeah, no, I'm older than you. I'm almost 40. I'm ancient in online standards.
You are ancient. You remember the WoW beta.
I was part of the WoW beta, yes.
Yes, where we will get into that. But let's first we have a lot of news to cover today because it's been forever and a lot of gaming to cover. So I'll let you start. What have you been playing this week?
I was doing a lot of Civ 6. The recent patch kind of threw a lot of the mods off, so that's kind of in a holding pattern now.
Have they updated already or nah?
Some mods have, not all of them. One of the worst ones so far is the production queue, where you would try to place a district or a wonder. You would have your tile light up green, go to click on it, and nothing happens.
Okay.
So you couldn't place districts on any tile. So once that is updated, you should be good. Problem is, once it's up, I think that part has been updated, but there's other bugs that have popped up that basically make Civ run at maybe 9 frames a second because it is just dragging ass.
But of course, Civ is always a paragon of performance.
Right, but if it's only going 9 frames a second, that means all of your processing power is going to try and making things go.
I was being sarcastic. Speaking of games, with modding break, have you seen all the modding people getting pissed off on the Creation Club?
I've heard a little bit about it, yeah. It's once the Creation Club came out, and every time they released new stuff for the Creation Club and Fallout updated it, screwed all the mods up again. So I just kind of stopped playing until they got that taken care of.
And now it's come to Skyrim.
I stopped playing Skyrim like a year ago.
And I mean, now that I love they picked the perfect timing for releasing the Creation Club because the beta for the script extender for Skyrim had just come out, literally a week prior to them announcing Creation Club for Skyrim's release. So everyone's getting super hyped for coming back to modded Skyrim on an engine that doesn't crash every 20 feet, and it doesn't work. Because they launched that stupid Creation Club.
Like, part of me understands it. Like, if you're a mod creator and this is kind of your hobby, you want to break into the industry, things like that, maybe getting a little bit of money for your stuff would be awesome. But there are so many people out there doing it for free that it's really tough to get people to pay for those mods.
I remember a couple of years back, there was a developer. He was a full-on developer for SimCity, the one that no one liked. And what he decided to do was he decided to make mods full-time for City Skylines and open to Patreon. And they were high-quality mods. Very high quality.
Definitely. So, and there are people who will pay for it.
I mean, he was releasing them for free, but they was essentially asking the people who liked his work to pay for his light bills by doing mods, and it worked. I don't know if he's still doing it, but I remember this being a thing back in the day, and I never understood why more like Skyrim or Fallout modders never did this.
Some people do. I know going through like workshop content on Steam, you can find links for here's my Patreon, things like that. Going to, say, Nexus, looking up different mods, there'll be links to Patreon accounts to help people out who do the modding.
Yeah, I remember. I think it was it Dark One, the guy who runs the Nexus. I think he did an interview, I want to say with Total Biscuit, and he said like less than 1% of people actually hit the PayPal link that is on every modder's page. to even go to look at their PayPal, much less donate.
Yeah.
So it's a shitty situation, but I'd much rather donate through PayPal or Patreon than through the Creation Club.
Well, yeah, because I mean, you got to look at the prices for Creation Club too.
I think it was like $10 for this survival mode that they've introduced in Skyrim, which I would still rather play with what's it called, Frostfall. Other than Civilization, what else have you been playing this week?
A little bit of Wasteland 2, the director's cut, kind of going back through that game since I played as an early backer.
Ooh, I have been meaning to get that game. If it goes on sale this October, actually, I'm surprised the Steam sale hasn't already happened yet. But I've been wanting I actually want that game now that I've beat Pillars of Eternity, which I'll be getting to in a moment. By the way, if you're about to say something spoilery, I have a little spoiler icon that I can throw up on the screen for our viewers to click away when they see that, or they can mute us.
I'll try to let you know beforehand.
Okay. All right. So how is Wasteland 2 compared to, say, Fallout 4?
Wasteland 2 kind of goes back to the old school Fallout, the 1 and 2, the tactics, to kind of that isometric top-down view, and running around. Everything is generally text-based. They do have a lot of voices in there now, but it's not that first-person shooter. There's no VATS.
It's not so Fallout 1 and 2, not Fallout Brotherhood of Steel.
Correct.
I was hoping to get a mean reaction out of you. But no. So,
Well, just a heads up for you, the next Steam sale should be in about a week on October 30th.
Sweetness, sweetness. I'll be getting paid with my new job by then. I, on the other hand, have finished a very, very long, overly long playthrough of Pillars of Eternity. And that ending was a long time coming.
Yeah, it took you a while to go through that one.
Yeah, I played the majority of that game on a road trip that I got guilted into by my family on a Surface tablet. Which, by the way, Surface tablet, actually a really good gaming machine for that sort of thing. Surface Pro, not the Surface RT, don't buy that.
I would say depending on the game you're playing or the type of game. I don't foresee you doing a lot of like Overwatch on that thing.
I should actually test that, see if I can get it on low settings.
Low settings you can probably pull off, but any amount of detail, I think first-person shooters are going to tax the Surface a little too much.
Let's get The Witcher 3 loaded onto it. Let's see what happens.
Oh, Crisis, come on.
It could probably take Crisis 1. It could probably take Crisis 2 and probably get Crisis 2 on medium settings.
Just load up some of the map mods for Civ 6. Like the huge like actual world map and just see what happens.
But I played Pillars of Eternity majority on that, and I got up to the last city of the game, Twin Elms. This was before the expansion. The expansion hadn't even come out yet. So I got up to that. I started doing a major quest line to get near the end of the game. I had done all those quests except for going off to the final area to face the final boss. And I take a break from the game for a bit because I've been playing this game nonstop for about a week. So I'm going to stop. And I think this is around when Overwatch comes out. Or this is when we get back raiding, when we were still raiding in SWTOR.
Yeah, that's about the right time, I think.
And we go, and I come back to the game to sit down again and finish it. And my save files are gone. They are corrupted and irreadable. I don't know what happened.
That sucks.
I blame the NSA. Damn you, Snowden! But yeah, so I had to start the whole game over again.
And how long did you play this time before you beat it?
I don't know the exact playtime for this playthrough. I do know that Steam now reads me of having 200 hours in Pillars of Eternity.
Yeah, so you beat me now. I haven't gone through any of the expansions, so White March 1 or 2.
It is definitely
I
worth
got
it.
this when it released and just plowed through it like I usually do, and I have 57 hours played.
Who is your main party?
Oh, see, it's been so long, I don't remember their names. There's one of the first gentlemen you meet with a shield, kind
Adair.
of the warrior. Yeah.
Adair.
The mage that you meet who was like bipolar.
Yes, Aloth. Aloth and Adair, who are voiced by the same guy in the same town. Kind of odd that.
Then there was the bard that you meet with the giant freaking rifle.
Kana.
And then there was the nutso chick called Mother,
The Grieving
I
Mother.
think. Yeah. And then, let's see, how many people could you have in there?
You could have, the whole party could be 6, so you've got 4, you're missing 1 more.
I think I jumped around between, I remember there was the short druid guy.
Hiraravis. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. If you go with a clever character, he's a lot of fun to be with.
And then there was the healer, like the crazy, like bearded monk guy.
The war priest, Durance, who wants you to murder everything.
Yeah.
So what were you? What was your class?
I was the godkin, and I was a death godkin paladin.
So okay, so you want to get in everyone's face.
Yeah. So you had a dare kind of sit there and try and pull aggro, keep everybody busy, and then I would go swinging in with a 2-handed sword.
I did almost the same setup as you because except I didn't take grieving mother almost anywhere. I took all the same characters. I took instead of Hiraravis, I took Sagni, the little dwarf woman with the fox.
Yes, I had her for. I've had everybody in the party for a little bit.
I essentially kept like in the order of the main people you can get. I took them. And I just grew really close to them, and they were my main party pretty much everywhere. I did take a couple of people out just to try them out, and I found I didn't like their playstyle, or just at that point I was too in the rut of what I was already doing. So I just continued down with the what I was doing. I was a pale elf wizard, and when I played the game originally, I was like, "Oh, I'll play a wizard because probably they'll just give me a fighter and a rogue pretty early on, or something like that." And you get a wizard almost immediately as your party member is like, oh.
Well, yeah, but you go into the bar and you can just make new characters.
Yeah, you could do that, and I think I did that when I was doing the road trip adventure. But by that point, when I started again, I was like, no, I'll just get Adair and I'll just speed and get Durance real quick so I can go into start doing some dungeons. And it's like, no, I'll just go with this. Did you get to the bottom of the giant humongous labyrinth that's beneath the keep?
No, the endless paths of Odd Nua.
Yes.
No, I did not complete the last 5 levels. I got down to them, but I never was able to get past one door near the very bottom.
Yeah, it is worth it because it's you actually do not have to resolve the final conflict with the master in combat. You can through a series of skill checks and a quest, you can actually resolve it peacefully.
Very nice.
But yeah, you guys definitely get the expansion. You get 3 new companions you can pick: a barbarian, a monk who you find in a barrel fish, and a metal woman.
Interesting.
Definitely worth picking up if they go on sale for everyone who watches this. If you watch this, go and pick it up because it's definitely worth it. And I can't wait for the sequel, which disclosure, I did kickstart. So there.
So big deal. You kickstarted. It's not like you're getting any money out of it.
No, I mean, if this ever gets off, where I'm making all that YouTube money, which will never happen. Yay, I disclosed it.
Be
I'm honest.
theoretical billionaire.
Yes, I'm an internet billionaire. I'm a Mark Zuckerberg but with morals
And no money.
and actually human characteristics. Because I'm not sure if he's a lizard person or he's an android.
Could be a lizard android.
That'd be weird. Also, his stat block would be weird. It'd be really complicated.
No, basically you just take like the D&D 3.5 or Pathfinder stuff and add
make
different things to it.
templates.
Yeah, you just add templates to it. So you make him a lizard man and then add a android template.
And they just give him all this money and just no skills, no social skills whatsoever.
Oh, he's married. Come on, it's better than you or me.
He's married. Well, okay, you've got the lady. You just don't do the marriage thing for. I guess you don't want to get married in Las Vegas.
Well, besides Las Vegas being like 8 hours away.
Yeah, but it's closer than me driving there.
Yeah, but I mean, we've got a good thing going. Why would we get the government involved?
She already works for them.
Yeah, but I don't need them like getting into the marriage aspect of things. Like, oh, hey, I mean, the only reason we do it is probably for like a tax credit.
True. Anyway, on to the news. We have a lot of it. So, for those who are literally living under a rock, earlier this week, EA committed murder. Again. And nothing will happen to them. Because they killed another production house for video games. This one being Visceral. For those who don't know, Visceral was the company that made the original Battlefront, Dead Space, and I think they made Dante's Inferno.
I believe you're right.
Yeah, so EA is the devil. Again. Punk thoughts.
Kind of bummed out. I would have liked to see their original idea because it was essentially going to be a single-player Star Wars game.
And apparently, after this Battlefront 2 beta, which I've tried, I don't know if you have,
I did not.
Maybe I'm just not used to the whole Call of Duty style shooter of get shot 5 miles away.
Yeah.
But I did not enjoy my time, and the whole loot box thing where they're essentially you have to pay to get a ton of actual things that you need to win. They seem to have seen that and it's like, oh, we'll just take what Visceral was making, giving it to what was it, EA Vancouver, and just do that again. I'll be fine.
Yeah. Well, and it would have been nice to see it because it would have been had the lead writer from the first 3 Uncharted games, which is fantastic, awesome. But for me, it's kind of like a harken back to the old Rogue One games. There's a story to be told. You just have to go through the motions to hear it.
Yeah, which wouldn't be too bad, but
no, it was going to be a very linear game. They've even said that it was going to be an extremely linear solo player type of experience. Okay, great. Not a problem. I want to hear a good story. And the little blurbs that you could get from it, I think there was like maybe a 30-second intro video of someone coming out on what looked to be Tatooine with Star Destroyers overhead and Imperial flags draped over buildings and like quick little action sequence and then bam, done. That was it. That's your little teaser. This is what we're going to do. It looked phenomenal. And then EA just beat it to death with a fucking board.
So I found an article. Kotaku has updated their list now of companies that EA has murdered, and
the fact that there's a list going should cause enough issue.
Yeah, I mean, like you think that their PR department would worry the fact that they get labeled the worst company in the world several times running. I think it's 3 now, 4. And it's
something like that.
And it's shit like this is what does it. Like, we got Bullfrog Productions, which was the original house for Peter Molyneux.
Theme Hospital. I think I still have it on the EA little program Origins thing. I have access to it. I don't play it because I hate EA now.
Dungeon Keeper, Populous.
Yes.
Then
Big time strategy type stuff.
Another strategy house, Westwood Studios, who made Command and Conquer and Star Wars Empire at War. Well, then they made it. The employees of the Westwood would later on go make Star Wars Empire at War in another production house. Origin Systems, literally the founding and creator of the video game RPG.
Ultima, Wing Commander, so many.
Ultima Online, and Lord British's lovely dream of a company swallowed whole by Electronic Arts. And as far as I can tell, the only time they ever use anything that Gary had ever used is the name Origin, which they use for their distribution platform. And that's it. They don't even use anything. And they've got 9 Ultima games, and they never touch them. Actually, I think there's like 12 Ultima games.
There's a lot.
Got New Flux, who made NBA Street. And I've never heard of these people. And then you got Pandemic.
You mean New FX?
I'm sorry, New FX. Yes, sorry. New Flux. Yeah, I like that better. New Flux.
I was like, what? Who the fuck is that?
They were acquired they were killed in 2007. Then you got Pandemic, which is a company that I hold very close to my heart because I played the shit out of Destroy All Humans back in the day. That's some talented ass folks over there.
Yeah.
But they got killed in 2009, so a little less than 10 years ago. A smaller company, Playfish, which, as far as I can tell, made The Sims. Yeah, they were just a Facebook company, really. And you got Black Box Games, who
all the Need for Speed, I think, or a couple of them, anyways.
Yeah, they were around back in the '98. Need for Speed, Hot Pursuit, Need for all sorts of all sorts of racing games, and they were killed back in 2013. And then the same year, we lost DreamWorks Interactive.
Medal of Honor, I believe.
Medal of Honor,
a Command and Conquer game.
Medal of Honor, no, not Call of Duty. Medal of Honor Warfighter, or Doorfighter, as the kids call it. And let's see. And then I think a good section of the guys at DreamWorks went on to join DICE, but a lot of them lost their jobs. And then we got Phenomic, which made Spellforce franchise, which is a game I've never heard of.
Spellforce was really good. I remember playing that one. It wasn't bad. It's probably their best game. They also did The Settlers, if I remember right.
Yeah.
Or no.
I'm looking at a screenshot of
the guy who worked on The Settlers started Phenomic.
Yeah. I'm looking at the screenshot of Spellforce Order of Dawn. It looks like the graphic quality of Morrowind meets the art style of Oblivion.
Somewhat, yes.
They would later go on to make Battleford, Lord of Ultima, which is, I think, was an online... It was like one of the first of those online wait and build it games. Like, oh, you can build a lumber mill. Now wait 4 hours and you can upgrade it.
Yeah.
Battle Forge, and then they were
and
closed.
The Command and Conquer game.
Yeah. Then they were closed down according to GameIndustry.biz due to EA restructuring, meaning, oh, we got to trim the fat so we can keep our marketing budget at $1 bazillion for Battlefield. Victory Games, which they only had for 3 years, and they made
that was the updated Command and Conquer series.
Yeah. They apparently founded this company and then destroyed it.
So they murdered their own child.
Yes. I mean, I'm not sure. I think that's worse than killing other people's children. But I'm not actually sure.
Somewhat, yes.
And then they killed Mythic Entertainment in 2014, known for the Dark Age of Camelot.
Big time in the Dark Age of Camelot.
And didn't they also do
and
Warhammer?
Warhammer Online, yes.
Yeah.
I loved both of those games. I played them religiously.
Oh, wait. Mythics are the guy who did the Dungeon Keeper mobile app. Which, I think one critic, Jim Sterling, said one of the worst examples of a cancer that is eroding the market and has destroyed the credibility of a once promising mobile game sector.
Well, yeah, because everybody's on their phones now. Why wouldn't you start to produce mobile games? Well, the problem is that there's no quality for it. It's a lot of them are just they're cash grabs. That's literally what they are. They're there to make money.
I on my phone, I generally let the YouTube ads roll. So a lot of them I keep getting is this Final Fantasy 15 app. I don't know if you've seen it.
No.
It is one of those build it and wait games, like I mentioned what Lord of Ultima was, and it looks so fucking generic except for the the trailer, which has characters from the new Final Fantasy game in it, and it looks just so generic. And I was like, why would I ever want to play this? And we got Maxis. Little known company.
Sim everything.
We're going to sim it all up and then we're going to die because EA sucks. SimCity, Sims 2, SimCity 2000.
3000.
3000. And
Spore?
No, they don't think they did Sims 4. I think the last game they did was
No, Spore.
Oh, Spore. That's right. They did do Spore. That's right. That was a long ass time ago. Completely forgot that they did Spore. And they didn't do Sims 4, which is kind of heresy. The last game they did was Sim City, which did so badly. And then the newest kill count, Visceral Games.
Which, Dead Space, a lot of people love that one.
These guys did Cyber Tiger, Lord of the Rings, Return of the King, My Sims, and the Simpsons games. But they wouldn't be put on the map until the release of Dead Space.
They also did the Godfather's games, things like that.
Oh, I didn't know they did Godfather.
Yeah, they had some of the James Bond stuff for like GameCube, for console stuff.
So overall, we've either got titans of industry literally killed for the fun of it, or we've got up and coming, very different style, very different thinkers just murdered because they dare to think.
I don't think it's because they dared to think. What I think it is, looking at it from maybe a business standpoint, is these are the numbers you need to make. If you don't make it, you're done. Now, they could be successful, but they're not making the numbers that EA wants to see in order to grow that profit.
I think the problem with EA is they're looking at a short-term value proposition rather than a long-term value.
Oh, yeah. Well, the other reason is they're buying out the developing houses for that intellectual property. They want those IPs because then they can do whatever they want with them.
I mean, I don't blame them for buying out these companies. that's a perfectly logical business decision. If you're going, I mean, buying out Maxis when The Sims is selling faster than cops are buying donuts, why wouldn't you? But when they have one major foul up because probably because of EA's heavy-handed decision making, they close the companies down, and then they hand off the IPs to people who are even more incompetent, or if not incompetent, or even more heavy restricted.
Right, but they aren't the only ones that do this. They're just one of the bigger ones that causes issues.
I don't think any other company has had a kill list. So as far as I know, I mean, as far as I'm aware,
not big of one, no. But other companies have done the same exact thing.
I mean, I know BioWare shut down like some of their Spurge off studios, but of course that's also an EA owned property. I don't think Nintendo has ever closed any of their in-house studios. And I know Sony, I don't think has closed them. I think they've left.
Same thing with like Microsoft when they had Bungie.
Yeah, Bungie, of course. Didn't like what, did they didn't own Bungie specifically. They own like parts of the company that Bungie left, but they still got Halo for somehow.
Well, I think when it first started out, Bungie was a Microsoft corporation company. They were kind of underneath. Here's, you guys are going to do this for us. And then once Halo came out and they got big, they were able to kind of break away on their own. And then they didn't have all that big money backing them because Halo's just the same freaking story every damn game anyways.
Now they're making Destiny, which I have not played, and I don't know if it's any good.
It looks really good. Watched a buddy play Destiny 2 recently. Graphics look nice. Looks very interesting, but it's not really different from Destiny 1. It could have been a expansion pack, honestly.
Yeah, I assumed it would be as much, and I probably will not pick it up. I don't need another shooter in my life, really. I don't know about you. I mean, I've got Overwatch, I've got Paladins, which I can play for free.
Yeah, Overwatch is good enough for me. And occasionally, if I need another shooter, I'll just load up Fallout 4 and, turn on some weird mods and just go gallivanting across the wasteland, blowing people apart.
Yeah, so let's see. And it's like, what I think Square Enix, they don't think they've closed down any studios. Not that I'm aware. I know, like the guys, IDOS, like left Square Enix. They bought away their I think they bought away their intellectual property too.
I think you're right on that one.
And Activision, I mean, does it count? Does it count for killing a studio if they merged with it?
No.
Because a lot of people like to say that back in the day that Activision buying Blizzard killed it. It's like, no, they merged. Killed WoW. No, it didn't. Activision Blizzard getting greedy killed it, but I don't know if that was necessarily Activision's fault.
Well, there's some out there that they try to start stuff up. They just fail. That's it. There's others where whoever the backers are decide they're done. They can't get backing anymore. They can't get picked up by anybody. Bam, they're done. And it just kind of goes downhill from there. The amount of game developers that have probably closed down, there's probably some that have closed down that you and I have no idea who they are or what they did.
Yeah, I'm sure they do. I mean, I think Virgin Entertainment's gone. I think Acclaim's gone. But
THQ.
Yeah, that was sad.
Who would have thought THQ would have fallen?
Because they were a publisher too.
Weren't they? Yeah, for them to fall that hard, it was pretty bad. They were a developer and a publisher.
And of course, I mean, for some people that was a great thing because then they got the access to the Warhammer games because then Games Workshop started handing them out like candy. Everybody and their mom.
Like Slytherin Entertainment.
What? Never heard of these people. I mean, maybe this is their breakthrough game. No. Of course, like what was it? Deep Silver? Weren't they under the THQ banner?
They were. Deep Silver did all of the. They do the new Agents of Mayhem and
so they got bought.
Saints Row games.
They got bought.
Yes.
Okay, I thought they went under.
No, they stayed floating thanks to someone else kind of helping them out.
Oh well, we're completely overlooking a major studio kill that did happen like a couple of years ago. And it was done originally. It was done by a company that is not was not a major video game company. Disney killed LucasArts.
Very true.
And that I think was their greatest mistake.
LucasArts had a lot of nice games. I mean, the old adventure games when I first started gaming. Full Throttle, Curse of Monkey Island, all that stuff. I just have that whole thing just like, okay, there's no more LucasArts. It's kind of like, wait, why?
I grew up playing a lot of the Star Wars games, the ones I could get a hold of for console, because that's all I had as a child. And my aunt, I think it was, gave me a copy of, yes, I know this is going to sound strange as it exists, of Escape from Monkey Island on the PlayStation 2.
Wow.
And she couldn't wrap her head around it because she was she played video games too, but she was a console player, complete console player. She did not understand a point-and-click adventure game, so she couldn't get past the beginning. I played it and loved it, and I beat the whole game. And I went back and played all of them. I've played all the Monkey Island games. I have not played Sam & Max, but I mean to. And it's really just sad they killed LucasArts because, like, oh, we'll just give out the license because we can make more money that way.
Well, I mean, as a company, that is what they want to do. But there should be some morals with some of these companies that go, okay, look, we can make more money if we do this, but should we? The problem is that most people are still going to buy the game no matter what. Doesn't matter if LucasArts did it or someone else does it. I
think, but still, though they could, even if there's a short-term money aspect, like even from a business standpoint, short-term money is not as good as long-term money.
No, but the long-term money isn't. You can't project that out. You can't go, okay, you can have a great idea for a game, but what happens if someone screws up on it and now it's tanked and you've lost this money? So your short-term money that you could have made is now gone because you looked at the long-term.
True, but I mean, there's also the fact that like a lot of these companies, especially like LucasArts, who's like probably the LucasArts Maxis specifically, are the companies that held a lot of prestige because their name was on the list. Their name was on the box. Like you bought actually, let me give you an example. You buy a Blizzard product, 9 times out of 10, you're going to get a high quality product that took forever to develop.
Right, but they're not getting pressured by other people to make money to make this return on investment work.
True, but I mean, of course, LucasArts used to be because they were a subsidiary company back in the day.
Yeah,
and they still turned out, majority-wise, high-quality products.
For the most part.
I mean, you got a stinker every now and then, but every company has that. I mean, even Microsoft has that. Remember the Zune?
Hey, they were viewed prominently at the end of Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Spoiler alert.
Yes, and when I say the word Zune to the kids on the street, does that instantly recognizable to them?
If you're in Seattle, yes, or Redmond. Because they all got one free because most of their parents work at Microsoft.
True. Wasn't it Bill Gates refused to get his kids an iPod?
I think so, yeah.
It's like, oh no, you're going to have a Zune. Because that totally worked out for you, Bill.
Who cares? He's got enough money. He can buy 30 Zunes per kid and not have to worry about shit.
Yeah. I'm surprised they didn't have their own allowance money. But regardless, I mean, it's really ridiculous that these all these companies just get murdered. I wonder if like somebody at EA makes a graveyard for these things.
I doubt it.
Probably. I think they just mark a checkbox.
Yeah, something like that. But there's other ones out there. Look at NCSoft and Paragon.
Oh yeah. Oh god, that was for.
I mean, City of Heroes is one of my favorite games.
That was a long ass time ago. Who owns City of Heroes, the IP now?
NCSoft owns the IP for it, which is why all of the crowd-funded and backed stuff isn't really taking off, because it's fans trying to get this thing to work, and it's not going there.
Yeah, well, and actually, on that note, crowdfunding is a thing that'll help a lot of these smaller studios prevent getting eaten alive by these major publishers.
Right, but in the case of like the, oh god, I can't remember the name of it now, but it's essentially the City of Heroes remake. It's like 10 guys who are trying to code this thing by themselves.
They're gonna need a bigger team.
Yeah.
I'm surprised. Wait, let's see. What's their Kickstarter? What's their Kickstarter called?
I'll see if I can find it here.
Because like if the fandom is as zealous as you were, considering some of the stories you've told me about City of Heroes and City of Villains.
Okay, there's two of them, and this is the problem.
Oh, now I get it.
Because no one can agree on how they want this to work. So you have City of Titans, which is, very close to City of Heroes. Then you have Ship of Heroes.
What?
Ship of Heroes. You're basically on one giant freaking spaceship hurtling through the fucking stars, and everybody can have superpowers and this and that.
Okay.
So they were planning their Kickstarter in April. I haven't looked at it yet or know if they even went anywhere with it. They did try to copy the art style of City of Heroes, so it has that nostalgia feel to it. It was the Unreal Engine, so it had, it had moments that could be nice.
I mean, I'm looking at the Ship of Heroes website, which is very colorful and very few shadows. And I don't see a link for any crowdfunding. I see a donation link. Click that, see where that takes me. Though I see on City of Titans, their Kickstarter's over, and they got more than double their amount. They needed apparently 320,000. They got 678,000. Yeah, there's no Kickstarter link apparently for Ship of Heroes, at least that I can find, or Indiegogo or any of those setups. Though the art style for City of Titans looks pretty sweet.
Yeah, the Ship of Heroes looks like, I don't know. It just, I don't think they have the ability to do it. It looks like it's a small group of people that's trying to do this. There's no information on anything else of what they're trying to do.
It looks like the City of Titans guys are, if nothing else, they all are agreeing on what they need to do.
Yeah.
I mean, I hope that goes off. Did you donate to this or no?
I was looking at it, and it without like some type of backing on it, with like a big name or an actual design studio, not just a bunch of fans. It was really tough for me to want to throw money at it.
Yeah, I mean, if it wasn't like as like any names that you recognized, I understood that. Because I mean, there isn't any sort of legal precedent for you to actually go after these people if they don't deliver at all, or if they don't just spend it out on hookers.
Well, there's something to be said that I think it's Kickstarter has it said like if you don't get what you were promised, then you can get your money back.
Wow, I didn't know. Well, that's
There's I can't remember who it is. I can't remember if it was Kickstarter or if it's GoFundMe or something like that. But you can basically say, "Hey, look, this is BS. I put money towards this. They owe me money."
I hope apparently that's better than what it used to be. Because I remember I heard a couple of like some games, like some developers just like ran away with the money and spent it on hookers because they got depressed apparently. I think the only games I've kickstarted was I kickstarted Ukulele, which hopefully now that game is fixed where I can actually play it because I was constantly having bug problems. And game's not out yet. Pillars of Eternity 2.
Yeah, and then Wasteland 3 is getting worked on as well.
Did you back that?
No.
Or
I'm trying to back a freaking food truck in my town called Anarchy Burgers, for Christ's sake.
Wait, is that on Kickstarter?
I believe so. Let me see if I can find a link for you.
Anarchy Burgers. They have a Facebook page.
Yes. It's an Indiegogo.
Indiegogo. Okay, this is going to be ridiculous. Anarchy Burger DK. Where is this Indiegogo? Can you post me a link? Because I'm not seeing it.
Yeah, I keep trying to send it to you and it just like disappears.
I'm getting a bunch of TMZ links.
Apparently it didn't copy.
Alright, there we go. Indiegogo Projects, Anarchy Burger Food Truck.
All-American DIY Reno food truck, cramming punk rock music, food, and fun down your throats. So they're over their goal. Their goal was just 5,000. That's all they needed to get the food truck up and going. They've got 7,000 now. But what I'm working on is donating $250. So essentially, you get everything before that. So at $10, you get a button and a sticker. At 30, you get a patch. At 50, you get a shirt. At 75, a hat. At 100, you get 5 burgers of your choice. So, and that's of course spread out. At 250, you get a signature burger on their menu just for you.
You're gonna make the Punknaught burger, aren't you?
Oh hell yeah!
What will it look like?
Not sure yet. I've got to go over it with a few friends in town and see what we can come up with for the Punknaught, and then we'll kind of pool our money together and throw it at them.
You've only got 3 days, so hurry up.
Yeah, that's fine. Well, I'm talking to them tomorrow.
It's like, if you make a Punknaught, I want to see the Punknaught.
It's got to be like a double bacon cheeseburger.
Oh, God.
With like a freaking fried egg on it and chili.
Oh, and don't forget, you need to put like 2 or 3 like toothpicks to the top for spikes.
And it comes with and do it in like a mohawk, like right down the center. And it's got to come with like a brown bag special beer, like of either Pabst Blue Ribbon. It's got to be Pabst Blue Ribbon.
This is like a $10 burger,
special, like a 40. Oh yeah, no, it should be the Punknaught meal, and it's like the best hangover cure ever.
The best hangover cure. It comes with alcohol.
Have you ever had a hangover in the morning and had a beer first thing? Oh, it is so great. Some people start drinking water. Fuck that. Give me another beer.
Good Lord.
Okay. Let's see if I can raise $1,000 to get a private punk show.
Wait, what? Let me go back to that. $50 a shirt and all of the above. No, wait, I'm going back. Like $500 you get an AB Anarchy Bus Food Club membership. Steep
So you
discount.
get discount food and merchandise for life.
Sweet. And a private punk show and dinner.
Somebody donated $1,000 for them and got a private punk show.
Good for them.
3 people have claimed the signature burger. That's why I want to go for the, number 4. If we can pull this off, me and my friends, you'll have the Punknaught burger in town, or could call it the Punknaught special and have it have like the brown bag. Here you go. I don't know if they'll have an alcohol license and they can sell out of the truck or not, but that would be my suggestion.
Okay, I hope I hope these guys do well with this. Even if they've already got their money, I hope they do well with this. So other than burgers with flaming skulls, what else have you kickstarted?
Not much actually.
I see you didn't kickstart Torment, and I didn't either because I had no money at the time.
I don't do a lot of Kickstarters. Again, I'm kind of worried about it. The Wasteland, I was right behind. I was like, okay, let's do this, and that was one of the few that I've done.
I did I think I donated to the Deadfire one like right after I had finished up to that point of my first playthrough of Pillars of Eternity, but before I realized my save files are gone, so I still has a very good positive feeling on Obsidian. And also before I knew Chris Avallone had left the company. So I donated and gave them the money. And it's like, but now I was like, oh, I'll give them the money. I want the game, and also I'm getting miniatures out of it. So sweet.
Pathfinder Kingmaker, I backed.
Pathfinder King. I think I remember that. Was that an adventure set or?
Adventure set, but there is Owlcat Games is doing the isometric top-down game for it, and it is written by Chris Avallone, I believe.
Ooh, sign me up. They needed $500,000. They got almost $1 million.
Yeah.
Pathfinder Kingmaker, Moscow, Russian. Now we find the election fraud. It was done through Dungeons and Dragons.
And it's still technically going.
I'm assuming you can back on their website.
Yeah, you can still pre-order things like that.
Let's see. Oh, I see what it is. I see what it was. The donators just wanted to get to that goblin companion who was a stretch goal.
Yeah, and they ditched out on the 1 million new race.
What would you want as a Pathfinder player? What was the race you would want?
Well, that's the thing is they're going to have all the basics in there.
Okay, so what out of the weird books, the millennia of extra books they have?
See, that's the thing is if they're going with Kingmaker, let's see. I think in this you opened up the Magus, which is kind of like a sword and sorcery type guy.
Oh, the game looks pretty nice.
I'm trying to think of what race you would want in there because you probably have the standards, the dwarf, elf, half orc, human, gnome, halfling, all those. Seeing like some of the not Genasi in Pathfinder, but the more elemental things. So you have like Afrits. They're essentially fire Genasi from the old D&D stuff.
What about anything like tieflings in there or Aasimar?
Are in there, of course.
Oh, you could. Oh, this. Okay, the game looks really nice. I will keep an eye on that because I wouldn't mind. I think we are now in a CRPG renaissance.
Yeah,
because we got Torment, Pillars, Wasteland. What I mean, you got ugh. And you got this coming out, and of course I'm noticing majority wise like the same couple of people are mainly doing it. Guys who used to work at Black Isle. They're just
pretty much, yeah.
They're just everywhere now. Apparently, they just spread to the Kremlin.
Yeah, that's about it.
I was talking to a guy who is like this Slavic. He's like this Slav in the Czech Republic, and apparently when he was playing Baldur's Gate 2, apparently its translation from English to Czech was on the levels of all our base belong to us.
Nice.
So yeah, that's a thing, and I would actually love to see the Czech translation. Well, I think we've wrapped up the news topics. I think the only thing we need left to do now is do the release list, which I seem to have lost.
You're fired.
I'm the one who hired you.
Too bad, you're still fired. You can't lose shit. You're not EA or Mark Zuckerberg.
No, I'm not. I'm better looking than both of those people.
Well, EA isn't a people, but okay.
According to George Bush, it is. Don't you remember that whole thing? Was it George Bush or was it Romney who said corporations are people?
That was a Supreme Court case at one point in time because they're trying to get corporate donations to work like union donations.
I had a great list. I don't remember. Was it GameSpot's list? This is a high quality production show, folks.
Can only go up from here.
Mm-hmm. I mean, look. I got one of us with a camera. The other is looks like a stand-in extra for a Mad Max film.
I am.
And the list I'm looking at stops at yesterday. Okay. Okay, here.
PC or everything?
This is for everything. Okay, here we go. We got Record Store Nightmare for PC. It goes up Sunday, tomorrow. We got Santa's Workshop, which also comes out tomorrow for PC. And apparently, GameSpot's link to these websites does not work. Got Ingare, which I think it's like a faction game that comes out. It comes out Monday for PC. We got Poi Explorer Edition for the Nintendo Switch, which looks kind of like a cel-shaded game that could have been coming out appropriate for the PlayStation 2. At least when I guess.
Destiny 2 coming up here in a few days.
Yes, Destiny 2 comes out for PC in a couple of days, so you and I actually could play it if we wanted to.
Assassin's Creed Origins on the 27th.
Yes, I was going to eventually get to that.
Wolfenstein 2, the new Colossus on the 27th.
I'm noticing a lot of, on this list I'm seeing here, a lot of fishing game. The same fishing game is coming out on multiple days on different platforms.
For the Switch, you have Super Mario Odyssey, apparently on the 27th as well.
Ooh, that game is something I'm actually looking forward to.
Call of Duty World War II, November 3rd.
I have seen some footage of that game. Did you hear they removed the swastika?
No.
Are you surprised?
Not really. I mean, it's part of history, and that's what the Nazis had. Why? I mean, if it's gonna hurt your feelings or offend you that much, you need to learn history. People use this thing and perverted it from what it originally was and turned it into something bad.
Oh,
Remember it for that.
They've also removed the word Nazi. They call them the Axis.
I'm done. Just what the hell?
Of course, I don't think as many people would be so upset, except for the game developers. Like a couple of months before that came out, said that they were going to go for historical accuracy.
Moving on.
Next.
Need for Speed Payback, multiple systems, November 10th. Lego Marvel Superheroes 2, multiple systems on November 13th. Elder Scrolls V Skyrim for the Switch on November 17th.
Yay!
For your Pokemon players, Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon for the 3DS on November 17th. Star Wars Battlefront 2, which we discussed briefly on 17th as well. One that should be re-releasing sometime in November is Vampire with a Y.
Vampire?
Vampire.
I'm assuming it's not anything to do with White Wolf.
I don't think so.
I will Google this.
Coming up in December, you have Fallout 4 VR for the Vive, which I don't know if I could handle that.
I mean, I don't have a Vive. So, okay, I found the website.
Frank's big package for PS4 on December 5th.
Yeah, this is not a White Wolf game.
Doom VFR for the Vive and PSVR December 1st.
I've actually heard good things for that.
Xenoblade Chronicles 2 for the Switch. And Resident Evil 7 Gold Edition for multiple platforms on the December 12th.
Wait, is Resident Evil 7 already out? I don't actually know.
I believe it is, yeah. So this would be the gold. So
this is the game of the year edition.
Beginning of this year, January, I think.
You can tell how much attention I pay for Resident Evil.
And then what released recently, which I haven't gotten a chance to play yet, South Park: The Fractured Butthole.
I thought you bought that.
I did not buy it yet.
What are you waiting on?
I don't know. I want to get the gold package, and it's like $80 freaking, and I'm like kind of going, well, the Steam sale's in like a week. Maybe I'll get like 10% off.
I mean, probably not. Ooh, get your. I actually haven't. Oh,
probably not. Most of the new ones don't they don't get reduced too often.
Apparently the Fallout games are on sale. If you do not have New Vegas, people, buy New Vegas. You can get the Ultimate Edition for $12. It's worth every penny.
That is not bad. That is an awesome deal.
You can get Fallout 3 for $12. It's worth every nickel. Fallout 1 is $9.99. Fallout 2 is $4.99. Yeah, Brotherhood of Steel. Yeah, Fallout 4. You can get Fallout 4, base Fallout 4 for $14.99. That's not bad. Oh, the game of the year version for $14.43. And then there's
not bad either.
And then there's The Witcher 3, which is $20. The game of the year edition.
That is definitely worth it.
Game of the year edition. Ooh, I actually may pick this up.
I'm sorry. The Fractured Butthole Gold is $90.
Ooh.
But that comes with a season pass.
Let me see. Is it? I'm gonna check on GOG because I'd actually like to give CD Projekt Red my money directly for The Witcher 3 if it's on sale there too. Yeah, it's $20 there too. I'll buy it there.
And Cyberpunk, cannot wait for Cyberpunk.
I think you will. If Cyberpunk is as good as you're hyping it up to be, I think you will jizz the moment you install it.
That'll probably happen multiple times. It installed.
Oh, there you go.
The game loaded. I hit play. Uh-oh.
Ooh, there's a couple of RPGs on sale on GOG, so check that out too. And one final piece of information. We forgot to discuss this we can discuss this next time. But Cuphead. We can discuss Cuphead. But have you heard?
I've seen a lot of stuff on it. I haven't played it yet.
I haven't either. I actually want to buy it. But have you seen how many copies it's moved so far?
It's over 1 million or something like that. It's a whole bunch.
It's over 1 million units on apparently, according to the gaming press, the Dark Souls of platformers. Also, please, can we shelve the Dark Souls of as a term, please? But over 1 million copies have shifted for this. I think it was according to Polygon, sexist, racist platformer.
Wonderful.
And I'm loving every moment of it. No, it wasn't sexist. It was ableist. That was what they called it. Yeah, we can discuss that next time. But I think that's it, everyone. You have anything else to say, Punk?
Nope, that's it.
Do you have anything you wish to shill?
Not at this time. Maybe next week.
Okay. We will be back next one. I've been Lord of Nothing. You can follow me at the Lord of Nothing. Soon to be on literally every platform, including the stock market. Invest heavily. It will only go up. It can only go up from here. And Punknaught is Punknaught literally everywhere. So, good night, everyone. Safe travels. Don't drive and play Pokemon Go.